hopefully my audio for this sounds alright. I don't have my headphones in that have a better microphone. So yeah, we'll try it though at least. Felt called to do a little check-in update of sorts. It's been a little bit since I've done one of these. Yeah, I just dropped off Elijah with his dad. And Eden got picked up by his dad last night. So it was just Elijah and I this morning, which was so sweet and special. I really cherish the time with just him and I. He's 7.5, and the time that we share together is just so much different when it's just him and I than when Eden, his brother, who's almost 5, is there, because he requires a lot of attention, and the focus is mostly like them two playing together. And then when it's just me and one of them, like it's about me and them together. The boys play really great. They're best friends. They, of course, butt heads and have their moments that are very not fun to be present for. The fighting and screaming and crying and yelling and hitting and kicking and throwing things. You know, it happens. It's a thing. But mostly they play in their own little world together. They just run off and play with their Legos or make up little imaginary worlds with whatever it is they're playing with. But yeah, so whenever I have time with just Elijah, we've been making it a little, what do you call it, like a ritual, or like when you do it, like a tradition, I guess. When it's just him and I, we go to this little sourdough bake shop in Hampton area in St. Louis called Knead, Knead, like knead, you like knead the dough, you know? But it's just amazing. I love it so much because I don't eat regular wheat unless it's organic or sprouted because I don't digest it well. And most wheat has proven to cause inflammation because of the pesticides, the high degree pesticides that are in them, and also so if I do eat wheat, I like to do organic or sprouted, and then sourdough. Sourdough is like my favorite thing, one of my favorite things in this world. I love sourdough bread so freaking much. So everything there is sourdough. They have sandwiches, they have all, like every classic kind of pastry or sweet treat they have in sourdough version. They had samples of this pumpkin pie, pecan pie that they're starting to do pre-orders for Thanksgiving. It was just so delicious. I highly recommend it. It doesn't even really necessarily taste like sourdough. Some of it, you know, has a slight sourness to it, but it's so good. So yeah, he had a little breakfast sandwich. I had a Thanksgiving like sandwich that was like turkey with like this like gravy blend and like that cranberry sauce and like sweet potato something, like it was so good. Oh, so good. And then we got like a maple glazed donut and a snickerdoodle cookie, and I got myself a little chai latte, which is like not very hot anymore. I kind of forgot about it, so I need to keep drinking on this. But it was such a sweet morning. And then before that, we just had a really just slow, sweet morning, just connecting. And I have this little game of like it's like cards that have questions on it for kids to ask children, and also he'll ask me questions. So it's just a really sweet way to connect. Just ask each other questions and have conversation, and really sweet. So that was really nice. And we played a game with these other cards that had these like different images on it that he was making up stories with, and it was so sweet to hear his imagination and like the things that he was coming up with on his own. And yeah, he's such a sweet boy. Both of them are just such sweet boys. Very grateful for them. My heart is full. Very happy I had that one-on-one time. Eden and Elijah are like opposites in so many ways. They're just wired very differently. You know, they have different dads, so they have a whole different environment that they go to half time, but they have me as like the central same thing, like, but yeah, then their own unique spirit. But you know, genetically they have half of me, and everyone before me, my parents and their parents and all the different combinations of people who met and had babies. And it's really wild how life works. And I'm feeling grateful this morning. I'm feeling, just the power of presence and connection and play. And these questions that he asked me to really help me like check in with myself and be able to share myself and, some of my inner world. And he got to share some of his, and it's just cool to be able to become more and more known by him, like as a person, not just like his mom. He's at an age, I mean, he's pretty older for his age. He always has been. He's beyond his years, very wise for, his age. He reads a lot. He's just like, always questioning and wanting to build and create. Most kids naturally are like that. That's kind of just how we're born to just be curious and questioning and creative. And if we're not in an environment that supports that and nurtures that, those natural abilities get shut off and we get disconnected from them. But all of us like have that potential to be like the most incredible artist and creative and builder, whatever it is we want to be, as long as we just have that support and that assistance in doing so. So I feel like I'm very grateful that I'm able to give him a safe, loving, accepting, nurturing place within our connection and relationship, and then just in the home and through the things that I get to expose him to and show him. And it was really sweet. We watched the movie Hook last night, which was cute. It was a little more action than I like to have. I'm not a big, I don't know. It was fine, but just the message of just like keeping, reminds me of like that inner child, like just keeping a playful, like we don't ever have to grow up actually. Like we can be adults in adult bodies, but always keep that youthful, free spirit. But there was a scene when the mother was talking to Peter as an adult, who in the movie has totally forgotten who he is and is like a lawyer and businessman, just like not very fun, honestly. And he was not playing with the kids. They were on vacation back at the house where, the whole Peter Pan. So Hook takes place after, like in the future, and Wendy is an older woman, and then Peter Pan, you end up finding out, decided to stay eventually because he would visit Wendy, just come back from Neverland and see her. And then one day he ended up staying because he like fell in love with her granddaughter, and so they're visiting that house where that happened. They ended up moving to America, yada yada yada, but anywho, so I mean, this is related to what I'm saying, I guess, but I feel like I need to give a backtrack story of things. But so what was I saying? Oh, she's like talking to Peter. She's like, we only have so many years before our children want to hang out with us. Like, go play with them. They love you. They need you. Like, they need their father. Like, there's a short window of time before, like, they're not going to want to spend time with us anymore. They're going to, have their own stuff. And, because at a certain age, most kids go through a phase where they don't really respect their parents, or they don't, that rebellious kind of phase. I mean, not everyone goes through that, but I don't know. I think it's pretty common. But Elijah is so sweet because he was like, that's not going to happen with us. We're not going to go through that. I'm going to always be wanting to spend time with you, and I'm going to always like be here. And I was like, oh, thank you. I sure hope so. Like, because I don't know. We'll see. We have a whole lifetime ahead of like unknown mystery of what life's going to be, and then what our relationship's going to be like. But I do see us always having a very solid, secure like relationship, to where, I want him to feel safe to talk to me about anything, everything. Like, I'm here. Like, I don't, I feel like I've done so much research on so much, that I have such a good understanding of like what is helpful for a human, developmentally, and then like emotionally, like just different ways to connect and to keep that connection strong, and to build safety and trust, and emotional intelligence and a healthy, secure attachment. So I don't know, with all of that, it's kind of cool that I get to see like the fruits of my labor through this little person in our relationship. And it's very special, very, very unlike anything else, like raising children and being a mother. And so that's like what I'm thinking about today is my path and my journey of mothering and mothering myself, and learning how to take care of myself, and my inner child and hold myself responsible and be disciplined, and then share these things with my children, which with Elijah, it's very easy with him. With Eden, his brother, you know, I couldn't take him out to this place without feeling like stressed, because he is very wild and wants to explore physically and run around and do stuff that's like just challenging when you're just trying to sit and chill and eat some food and drink some tea. You know, he's meant to be out. He's just got a lot of energy, you know, when he's gotta get it out. So, but yeah, every person has different needs and different qualities, and yeah, just see that right in front of my face, just how like Elijah's very like thinks before he says and does things. It just seems like Eden just in a moment is just like boom, 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 let's go, let's do it, you know. And yeah, Elijah takes him a little bit to warm up to other people. He's a lot more in his head, analytical, and Eden, anywhere he goes, he's just like, hey, like, what's up? Like, everyone's a friend, and it's really sweet, and I appreciate that about him. And also, you know, like that, you know, being a little bit more reluctant or needing to trust someone before just like, you know, both things are, you know, important, I guess. But yeah, I learned so much through them, and parts of myself I see, like, they're kind of an extension of different aspects of myself. Like, there's this part of me that's just super wild, out there, like, will talk to anyone, everyone, very in my body, very fiery, very present. And then there's a part of me that's a little more, it's very grounded and very in my head and very observant and thinking and through things before I do them, you know, where there's like a kind of like a intention. Yeah, it's funny. And then I'm witnessing them interact with each other, and how well they get along, and then also how sometimes they do not get along, you know, at all. And it's a battle and it's a war. But it's all time and place, set and setting, or it's just inevitable where like they can't always be peaceful. Like that would be, I mean, I guess they could, but I don't know if that, there's just so much going on within both of them that sometimes you just butt heads with someone, you know, it's just like inevitable. Yeah, but I wouldn't be me without them, and it's wild to think that there's a whole lifetime ahead of growing and learning. And yeah, it's a journey. It's an ongoing journey. And Elijah had a book fair at his school, so I was just taking the stickers off these, but I got them both their own little like secret diary, like lock thing, which I remember as a kid was just so special. Like I have my own special secret thing, like so for any of that as a Christmas gift, I'm gonna save this for later. But that's like my favorite, the two. Is this what people do when they have products that are, no, but really, got some like metal. It's very dragons. I wanted to show you that though, because it was just right there. It's a nice sound too. Oh, and then check this out. Marigold. 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 Very nice, very nice. All right, well, I'm gonna get on inside and keep my day moving. I'm gonna, oh gosh, it's my first day off of work and without children for a whole week. I cherish this day. So I'm gonna just like get a little organized in my space, set my, you know, kind of get an idea of my week ahead. There's so much laundry to put away, and this can be fine. I'm gonna put on some good music, make it fun. You know, you can make anything fun if you have the right mindset, and music is helpful in making things fun. So yeah, and art. I'm gonna do some art. I got my art space set up. It's so exciting. I have like there's this room that I haven't been able to use for a long time. I live with my parents, and my sister had been living there, and she moved out a month ago, and then shortly after she moved out, my brother came in town for 2 weeks. So the room I got to utilize for a little bit, but then it was like his room again, and then he just left back out of town, and so I just got the room like set up and clean and organized again. So I have like a quiet, like little sacred space that I've created with my art everywhere, and then a big old table now that's completely cleared, where I have my little space that I can like zone in and get into, and I'm excited to see what I will create and just flow with, and take away the pressure from creating, and just have fun with it, because sometimes I'm like guilt myself that I'm not creating enough or I'm not doing enough, and it's like, it's okay to be just surviving right now. Like, you work all week, which is physical labor, and you get off and you're tired, and then you hang out with the boys, and then you get them to sleep, and then you want to rest and not you don't have a whole lot of energy to do stuff usually. So giving myself grace and just letting myself be, and like being as much as I can just in a peaceful, positive, upbeat state, and also being authentic and real with my emotions. So like, if I'm feeling sad, let myself feel sad, but not like maybe spiral down into a hole, because I can do that sometimes. And, you know, in anger, like get the anger out, like just be genuine, authentic in my feelings, but also just do my best to stay like grounded and solid, and like being intentional. It's just such a funny dance of like, feel your feelings, but also, and like process the feelings physically through expression, through art, and also just trying to be like, spread good energy, you know, spread positivity, but not like toxic positivity or like gaslight certain realities about the world, because I don't even want to talk about the world stuff, you know. When I come here, it's like, okay, I can talk about my little world, because that's happy and good, and also not always happy and good. Like, there's stuff there too, but for the most part, like, I have a lot to be grateful for. The stuff going on in the world, can't fully speak on what's going on 100%, because I don't know. I can see a lot of different things happening, a lot of different perspectives, a lot of different pieces in this chess game that none of us can really know for certain what is it that's happening and going on, and why. I try to remain optimistic as possible, because I believe in the power of the mind and the spirit and the spells that we cast with our language and our words. And I believe in, as much as possible, like understanding and compassion and bridge building and connection and balance and all of these things. And my values, right? It's like, what do I value? I value honesty, I value kindness, I value patience, forgiveness, family, I value friends, family, connections, like, you know, nature, earth, just life. I value life itself, and laughter and silliness and play and fun, you know. Yeah, so all right, well, like I said, it's time for me to go, but I wanted to wrap it up, and you know, yeah. Okay. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, okay. Till next time.